Nothing in this product ad was filmed for real. The animation, the lighting, the textures were all generated and built inside DaVinci Resolve. Without ever leaving the program and having 10 different subscriptions for AI, only one tool. In this video, I'll show you how to build a full product commercial using AI and 3D. And here's what actually changes the game. You're not sitting there guessing what to type in a prompt box. You feed it with reference images, dial in with real controls, so you can build the shots you actually want visually instead of rolling the dice and hoping to get the best prompt possible. And for that, we built our own plugin inside of DaVinci Resolve that connects to fal.ai. This way we only pay per generation and everything lives inside the editing software. Here's the whole pipeline in 3 steps. First, we generate our product shots from reference images with control and placing it right on the timeline. We're also going to see how to bring your own 3D animations and let AI be the render engine, turning your 3D clay renders into a photoreal shot. Then lastly, we will turn it into a final edit, grading it, cutting it, and finishing the entire ad. Here we are in DaVinci Resolve, and this is the tool we made. It's connected to the timeline, and we have video generation, edit video, image generation. We have our backdrop generator, and then also the clay to photoreal, which means we can turn 3D renders into photoreal scenes. Then in image generation, we can just generate images like any other platform, but we also have the node function, so we can create our images in a node-based workflow with all the recent models. And in this example, I made a simple prompt and also a reference image of our object, so we can apply this onto the image node. Then we can choose Nano Banana 2, for example. Can also select our aspect ratio, but the cool part is we also have camera and lens settings. So we can select a master prime, and then we also have focal length, so we can change the focal length of our lens, and also aperture. Then we also have the lighting functions. So we have different lighting scenarios we can choose from, and this will all be embedded in the image. Then you can select visually what you want for your specific shot. And just as an example, I made a prompt here with this shoe as a object reference with Nano Banana 2, and then we created something like this, and we also animated it using Cdance Fast. In the animation itself, we can also choose presets. For example, here in the camera movement, I chose orbit arc, so then we have an orbit around our shoe, and we can select this and add it to the timeline or to the media pool. Then we have it directly in DaVinci Resolve, and we can start working with it and editing our clips. And in this shot, I wanted to have a transition where we change colors in the shoe. So for that, I can add another image node and then capture current resolve frame. So that creates a still image of your timeline. So we can add another prompt. For example, I want to change the color of the shoe, so we can input the image and our prompt as well with the color value. Then when we generate, we can create different colors from the same shot. And there's also an option to create multiple angles from this. So when I select angles times 3, we can create different angles from the same shot, same location, just some variations. This one turned out a bit weird, so it's not perfect. It can make mistakes. You can also hit animate, so that will go straight to the video generation. Then we can choose our video models for our specific shot. For example, image to video, we can select Cdance. We can then prompt something like the shoe goes up and then rotates. And this is a very vague prompt, but we can copy this prompt, paste that into Claude, and then it will give you a set of instructions from the plugin itself with a reference image. Then we can use that to create the perfect prompt for our shot. We can then paste that prompt into the chat, and I will also select Cdance with 4 seconds with an aspect ratio of 9:16. And then for the movement, I want a dolly shot, so that will pull out and have a smooth motion going backwards. Then we can hit send and let's see what it's going to do. While that is running, you can still edit and work on those images we just created. Here I made this simple animation with all the colors just flashing. I just placed all those frames after each other, and then with some compositing and some overlay effects, we can create a effect like this. Now the video generation is done and we have a dolly shot going back and the shoe is rotating 360 degrees, which is exactly what we instructed, and it works pretty well actually. Of course, it's not perfect yet. It can make mistakes. It's AI, but it has a lot more control than prompting and making countless generations and probably wasting your money. But the most important part is actually the image generation first, because when you have a nice image to work with, you already have the look, the feel, and then you create your videos because we already have the look and everything in the shot. One handy feature in the notes as well is we can copy our basic prompt we created, then paste that into Claude, and that will give it a set of instructions to get the perfect prompt. You can also select multiple notes and then copy for AI, and that will also input a reference frame and a set of instructions for your AI chat. And you can do this step 100% for free using ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini. There's a lot of things we can do. And here we created a variation like this, a close-up and the lava beneath. Then we create an accurate prompt for the animation we wanted. And in Seedance, we have a result like this. Sometimes you want the most control possible in terms of camera motion and pacing. That's why we use 3D first and then use AI to enhance it or treat it like a render engine. So here we have this intense animation going in with the shoe, and I wanted to have the same rocky atmosphere with lava and smoke. You can do this with any 3D program like Blender. Here I use Cinema 4D, but you can basically use anything for that. If you're wondering how I made the shoe, you can simply add that object reference and typo 100% for free, and then it will create a dummy 3D model for you. Then that we can use for the animation. And in the plugin itself, we have a dedicated tool for this workflow. So we can also input our object reference, then a style frame of the environment, and then also choose our lighting setup. All these references will then be applied on our first frame that we can use for the animation. And here we can choose the latest models like GPT-2 or Nanobanana 2. And I made it so it's in two separate stages. First, we create our background frame, and then we place our textures of the shoe or our object. When we have that start frame, we can start generating our video. And for this one, I also used Seedance 2.0. There's also a 4K coming soon that will be in the next update of this plugin. And we can also add additional effects. For example, I wanted to have rocks shooting out of the ground and lava beneath. So I instructed that to happen in the shot as well. And after that, we had a video generation like this. This would have taken at least 3 days to get all the textures and things right for the shot. So that's basically a shortcut for your 3D renders. If you're wondering the cost for image generation and video generation, this image of GPT-2 cost me about 0.08 cents. That's very cheap for image generation. For Seedance 2.0, a video clip of about 10 seconds long with this orbit was about $2.40. So on a project basis, this can be very handy to see exactly what you are spending, and you're not relying on credits on a subscription, for example. And then the final step, of course, is creating your sound design and final edit of the commercial. And here you can be very creative on the pacing and how you want the edit to look. This is doing a lot more than just generating videos from AI. There's personal taste, character in it, and you can be creative with AI, in my opinion. But it depends how you use it and for what you use it. As a VFX and 3D artist, I like still having the control of a dedicated 3D program. But if you are on a tight deadline and you want to have projects run out the door fast, then you can use this option as well. It's all about sharing workflows, and this is definitely a workflow I personally use for my clients. And yeah, it's definitely going to improve over time. Version 2 of this plugin is now available in my school community, so you can grab it there in the classroom and install it. It's also available on Gumroad as a one-time payment, so if you're interested, link is in the description. So that's it for this video. Hope you liked this workflow and see you on the next one. Peace.